Welcome to another help desk training video. We're going to keep it going. This is number 15. So this is very exciting because there's always something new to learn when it comes to help desk. Let's keep it going. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another session of help desk training. My name is Irvin, also known as Kobu Man. Before we begin, please take a moment in the comment below just to say hi, hello, or present. Just to kind of let me know that you're still interested in this type of content so I can keep making it. It's a big motivational thing for me and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, what we're going to do here is see what we can follow up on, if there's anything that we need to follow up from previous videos first. So I'm going to check the notifications to see if anything came up. Okay, so we have some kind of response from previous tickets that we worked on. And this one is with a Wi-Fi issue that we've talked about either in the previous video or the video before that. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's in the last video we talked about a Wi-Fi issue. And they said, oh, sorry, I just watched the video that you uploaded and you explained everything. Thank you. Okay, so it looks like it helped resolve the issue. If you want to check that out, that's in the previous video where we talked about a Wi-Fi issue and possible solutions for that. Let me see if I have any tickets that we need to follow up on that are still assigned to me. And there's this VPN ticket from Marion. I am working from home at the moment. I need to connect the company via VPN. So this is the one we worked on in the last video. And we didn't get any response. And I don't know if you recall, we've had some suggestions for what the possible issue was. And it says, please send me a screenshot of the error, if any. I've talked about possible solutions for the issue with you. So that reminds me. So I've talked about possible solutions, but what I really wanted is to see a screenshot of the VPN to see what's going on with that, because you gotta have an error, or you gotta provide more information in order to, or you gotta receive more information in order to resolve any issues. So I gotta see what I'm looking at basically. Just because VPN is not working, or this is what users do a lot of times, and I'm not blaming Marion for anything like this. I appreciate you submitting these tickets. Is that a lot of times other people would just say it's not working. Okay, well, what's not working? My VPN is not working. Well, why? What can you give more details? You see what I'm getting with this? Just because you say it's not working, I can't necessarily fix it because I can't read your mind. You know, no offense. It's just how it is. I need more information in order to fix these. And we didn't get any response from this. Usually you want to follow up twice on these type of tickets, but since we have a lot of tickets to work and I really want to get them going, I'm going to just close it and I'm going to say, please let me know if you still need assistance with this issue. Now keep in mind, the company you work for as help desk, they will have different rules in regards to how long you keep tickets open, can you even keep them open, and things like that are related to what they call SLAs or whatever, how long it takes you to resolve issues and how efficiently and this and that. So, you know, double check with that. In my opinion, you follow up twice, you know, but in this case, I'm just following up once and I'm going to close the ticket. But that's because I want to keep things moving because I have a lot of tickets to work, and that's just my rule, right? But again, when you work for somebody, make sure you at least follow up once or twice to make sure that they still either still have the issue or they no longer have this issue. We need to know. Okay, so I said, please let me know if you still need assistance with this issue. Perfect. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm actually going to make this reply to customer. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it and I'm going to send that so the customer can get it. And I know Marion may not respond to me, which is fine because he's one of my viewers. And if you as one of my viewers want to submit your own tickets to the system, I will put a link in the very first comment. So very first comment will have a link from me and the comment is going to be pinned. So if you want to submit the ticket that you want me to talk about, then please use that link and also submit it in the sense just like these tickets are submit it in the sense where, you know, it's a help desk ticket. For example, say, I need help doing this or that. Can you please help me with this and that? Make sure it's help desk related, not necessarily something that's more advanced, like don't ask me to set up your server for you type of thing. It's impossible for me to talk about here because, I mean, I can talk about it, but it would be a totally different video. It wouldn't be help desk, right? And I have videos like that already. So I'm going to say closing, this is internal note, closing ticket. I'm going to say followed up. I'm going to say twice. I'm going to pretend like I followed up twice. Again, you know, this is important. Followed up twice. No response. Closing ticket. Again, never ever close tickets until you contact. Make sure the user knows that you are actually doing this type of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to move on. Call it resolved. Unassigned tickets. Okay, unassigned tickets. Nobody's touched these tickets. All right. Here's another ticket from Raji. Thank you, Raji. Firewall blocking internet access. Hello, my firewall keeps blocking internet access. Would you please help me? Raji. Thank you for submitting this ticket, Raji. I've talked about this actually. So whatever the video, it's either last video or the previous video, and I showed how firewall works. I want to say it's in the last video. Anyway, either way, I'm going to put a link up here. You guys see where this red arrow is pointing? That's where the link to that video is going to come up, and everything's timestamped. So if you pull up that video, and if you just want to watch firewall, then just skip to the part where it says firewall. It's timestamped, so just look at it. You know. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to say, and again, this is just because I already talked about it, and Raji already, I think it was Raji or somebody else that already requested this, and I've showed this. I'm going to say, please see my instructions from the previous video. So this is very, you know, if you're first time finding these videos, this is very unusual for somebody to leave these type of notes and close tickets right away. But I have no choice in this case because I'm creating a tutorial that teaches help desk. You know, normally you will see, and if you already watch my videos, that you always have to introduce yourself, try to take control of their computer, try to resolve issues, and this and that. In my case, the best I can do is show you how you can resolve these issues and how you can note these tickets, how you can keep track of everything, and basically teach you everything I know, guys. So, and that's something I enjoy doing, you know. So I'm gonna close it because it's basically a duplicate ticket, you know. So that's why it's like this. It says here that I still, okay, yeah. System showed I still had assigned one to me, but it wasn't. All right. MD Alam. All right, we've done a lot from him, and that's okay. Thank you for submitting more tickets. DNS records to the IP address. I've already talked about this as well, and that's okay. And I've talked about DNS and how it works in either previous video or video before that. I don't know exactly. I'm going to try to find it and put a link, just like I said from the other one. But if you want to look this up in any way on my channel, just go to youtube.com/Kubuman, and in the search box, just type in anything you want. It's going to come up. Everything's labeled, everything's there, everything is timestamped, so you can quickly find this. Even if you're working help desk already and you need help, that's the whole point of me making so many videos on this, so you can find the solutions quickly. You know, I can talk about it, or possible solutions, because I don't know. Again, if there's a specific error and I'm talking about something totally different, then that may not be the case, but at least it will get you to the right place or give you a good idea of what to look for. So I've talked about DNS record and I showed how you can change this, but I'm just going to read this ticket just to say, I bought a domain called alamtex.com, but I'm trying to set up my domain with IP address and create a website. Trying to create a domain environment to practice IT issues. Please help me out. I'll watch your every single video. Thanks, Alam. I appreciate that, buddy. Okay, so I'll talk about this briefly. So alamtech.com. So it looks like he's trying to set up this website called alamtech.com. Let's check it out. And I'm taking a chance here because I don't know what this website is about, but I'm going there just to see what's going on, to see if anything is set up. I have an idea what he's talking about. It's not necessarily a help desk thing, unless your help desk is literally doing a website administration, which I can certainly talk about as well. And again, don't worry guys, anything that comes up. So his website, okay, it looks like he abandoned this. Maybe? Yeah, it looks like, no, this is just a parking page. So he hasn't forwarded his IP address to this, and that's the issue here that he talked about. You see how it just comes up? He looks like he bought it at GoDaddy, or GoDaddy is his website host. Okay. So either way, if you're still making this and you want to point your IP address to the domain, it's very simple actually. You have to log into, for example, if your domain provider is GoDaddy.com or anything like that, you log into GoDaddy, and what you do, and I'm just going to briefly create this so you can get an idea of people who want to create websites. This is how addresses are. This is how addresses and domain, IP addresses and domains are connected together. So once you create a website, your website is going to have a static IP address. It's going to have a static IP address, and you should give it a static IP address. You know, you create a website, and number one, you need that static IP address, meaning that address never changes. And number two, if you want your website to work as, you know, in this case, alamtex.com, you need to point your IP address to alamtex.com, all right, or whatever it is that your domain name is. You know, it could be Bobby's Tech Support or Lucy's I don't know, drycleaning.com. I don't know. So it could be anything. And for that to happen, step 3, go to domain provider. In this case, is GoDaddy. All right, GoDaddy.com, where you can buy your own domain name. And create a text. Let me do this here. Create a text. Hey, just to add, while editing, I realized that what I was actually talking about is what they call an A record, that you have to go to your domain provider and point your website to that IP address. Just a clarification, it's not a text record, which is TXT, it's an A record that you have to enter in order to provide correct DNS settings for your website. Entry that I'm going to say with at a sign that points, well, at sign, and we're going to say insert IP address, static IP address. Okay, so I'm not a web developer. I have my own website, and you know, these are some basic things that anybody should really know. But it's, you know, if you're help desk, you don't necessarily have to know what this is, but this is how you would point your server that's always going to be at a certain IP address. This is how you tell people, well, you don't have to remember my IP address. You just type in the domain name, in this case Alamtech, and the way that works is because I go to my domain provider and then I create this entry, text entry, that means at, with the at sign, and then insert static IP address, meaning pointing Alamtech to the IP address, to whatever that is. And that's pretty much, I'm gonna leave it at that. But it is a DNS entry, right? So you go to domain provider under DNS and create this text entry. So that's exactly what I'm going to copy paste into this ticket. So hopefully that helps you, Alam. And I'm going to close it because I don't, you know, the whatchamacallit, help desk is not necessarily about this, so this is just for your information. Here's another one from Alam. How to install CCM on my VirtualBox. Well, buddy, I would love to help you, man, but this is help desk videos, and I remember I said this before. You guys, if you want me to talk about your tickets, and I'll talk about as much as I can, but if it's not a help desk ticket, then it kind of defeats the purpose of this video, right? I can't pull up a VirtualBox now and install CSSM, SCCM. I'm sorry. This is like, this is me basically showing you how to install an entirely new system in a VirtualBox, which is a virtual machine environment for people who don't know. And you want me to set this up for you. Again, this would be a totally different video for that. So, you know, for those reasons, I can't. It would take forever. This would no longer be a help desk video. So I'm just going to move on from this. And I'm going to say, forwarded ticket to web support. You know, because you keep talking about your website, which is fine. But yeah, I'm sorry, man. I can't set up SCCM and kind of, you know, ruin this video for that. You know, I appreciate you submitting these tickets, but this is a help desk video, not anything else. All right, here's another one from Marion. Scanner is not working. I'm trying to scan some documents from the scanner to my computer. I typed in the address and scanned the document, but I do not receive an email with scanned document. So, what do you mean, but you're trying to scan some documents from your computer? Don't you have a scanner, like a physical scanner? You would need a physical scanner to scan documents, right? Trying to scan some documents from the scanner to my computer. Okay, so it does sound like you have it, but then you said you typed in the address and scanned the document. But I do not receive an email with scanned document. I don't know what kind of setup you have where you type in the address and scan document. And this is very confusing to me. I get that you're trying to scan a document from the scanner to your computer. Typically, you just go to your scanner, you open it up, you put a document in, and you press scan. And then that computer saves a picture of that. A picture of that. And that could be saved anywhere. So if your pictures are saved into your pictures folder like here, then look for it in there. You know, if it's, I'm not sure what you mean here. I typed in address and scanned document, but I did not receive an email. That sounds like some kind of a specific scanner, I guess. I don't know why you would receive an email about something that you're scanning there. Like you physically have to put a thing on the scanner, close the lid, scan it, and then the scanner that whatever the computer is connected to will receive that. This must be something very specific. I would need way more details to figure out what's going on here. And that's a good example here for you people who are going to work help desk or are interested in help desk. You're always going to need more information. And this is very, very vague. Again, I talked about this earlier too. And it's very important to have as much information because I don't know what's going on here. It says you typed in address and scanned the document. I don't know why you would type an address. You mean IP address and scan the document? I don't know. This might be some kind of web interface that you're using. I don't know. I need more information. I'm going to say, hello, please provide more information about your scanner, how it works, how, yeah, explain in detail how it works and what you to do, need to do in order to scan documents. I just don't have enough information, right? So whenever you scan, usually it's saved in a folder somewhere. It could be, it doesn't necessarily be in the pictures, but it will be on your local computer. Whatever the scanner is connected to, that scanned document is going to be on your computer, and it's going to be a picture. It's going to be a picture. So whatever it may be, yeah, I don't know. You know, I just don't know what kind of scanner you have. It's just not enough information. And I'm going to leave this one open for now. All right, so we've done 2 for Marion. So for those reasons, I'm going to skip over to a next person that submitted a ticket just to keep it fair so people are not waiting to be featured in a video. Okay, let's pick this one here, which is from Anyango Fabiano. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. I apologize if I don't, but thank you very much. Thank you very much for submitting a ticket. Outlook mail slow. I have tried to send mail through Outlook, but it took over 30 minutes to send a file attachment of just 2 megabytes. Oh, wow. It is happening for the first time. Where is the problem? That's a good one, and I'm assuming it's an Outlook, desktop Outlook. And so, well, here's the thing. I've seen this type of issue on desktop Outlook, and I'll show you how you guys can go through and reset that in a way where pretty much the only thing you can do when it comes to these type of issue is to reset and recreate the mail profile at the local level, at the computer level. So let's kind of stick with that. I think in the past I've talked about web version of Outlook, and there's some issues with that that can cause this problem. But in this case, it's either profile is it's either messed up, or there is an issue with the Exchange server. That means that things are just slow, and you can double check this to see if other people are having this issue if you're working in a business environment. Now, 30 minutes to send a file attachment of just 2 megabytes is super slow. So check to see if other people are having this issue. If it's just you, then the issue is with you, right? The other thing that I might assume, and which is really, really rare, is that you ran out of room in your inbox, which shouldn't be the case. What I'm leaning towards in these type of issues, when it's not apparent, is that there's your profile, your cached data on your local profile for mail specifically is corrupted or just needs to be reset. So for those reasons, let's go to control panel of your local computer. And I'm going to minimize this. And where it says here, view by category, I'm going to make this small icon so that way these menus expand. So I don't have to look for exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to make it small icons. You can see how everything expands, and there's actually way more stuff in here. What I'm looking for is a profile or a menu here that's called mail, local mail. And I don't see it. Maybe I should just do a search. Wow. It's not, is it not in Windows 10 anymore? Wow. Okay. That's weird. There should be a mail icon here. Well, probably because I don't have Outlook installed. Anyways, there should be a mail icon. It's just called mail in here in control panel. If I have a video, I'll link it or either insert it if possible so you guys can see me actually working on this. So what I'm looking for is actually an icon that's called Mail within Control Panel. What this does, whenever I click on it, which is what I just did, it opens up our mail setup for Outlook. If you don't have Outlook installed, or Microsoft Office, if you will, Outlook comes as part of the Office, this icon will not be present inside of control panel. But here we are at the right place. Now, when it comes to troubleshooting, server connection, in our case, Exchange server connections, we have to look at our email account settings, which is the very first thing we have here. So that makes it pretty easy. And I'll actually go back down here to kind of show you what these other things are as well. So let's look at email accounts. So right now I have set up what is basically called IMAP /SMTP server settings for a Gmail account that I'm using. But nonetheless, this is how it will look like in a business environment. You would have your email address here, and it would tell you what type of account you have set up. Now, let me show you. This is exactly what happens when a user logs into the computer for the first time and they've never opened up Outlook ever, right? This is the first thing they will get right here. So if someone logs into a computer for the first time ever and they try to open up Outlook, they go in here and they find Outlook, right? There's Outlook, and then you click on it. This is the first thing that will show up because an account has never been configured previously. Typically, in a domain type of environment, so business environment, right? Your Exchange server settings, so your email settings for your domain account will be attached to itself, right? So that means that your domain login, so login for your computer, whenever you log into your computer, you see how I'm logged in right now, right? So if I sign out, right here, sign out, and then I log in with a different login, and it happens to be a domain login, it will have my email account information attached to it. So when I open up Outlook for the first time, this will automatically populate, of course, if set up correctly, but this is usually what happens. This will automatically populate, and it would be as in an example below, it would say something like this. For example, Alan Adams, this whole thing would be filled out. Alan at Cantaso.com, and it would fill out your password automatically because it uses your login information to fill this out, and that way it automatically connects to the Exchange server, right? So once this is filled out, it will basically do it on, most of the time will do it on its own, and then you simply click next, and then it would go through this, and it's not going to connect now, obviously, but it would connect, and it would do its thing, and then you would simply click finish, and then you would get to your inbox. It would look just like this. Once we're done with that, you open up Outlook, and it will look like this. Similar like this. It wouldn't have Gmail, but it would have inbox, and you'd have your emails in there and whatnot, right? So that's what I would do. Man, I hope I found that video. I apologize if I didn't, but I know I have a video somewhere that talks about that. Okay, so I'm going to reply. I'm going to say, try resetting / creating a new local mail profile from control panel. So I'm going to say step 1, open control panel on your computer. Step 2, open mail, and then create a new email profile. I want to say, yeah. Please let me know if that worked. I'm going to leave it open for now. All right, guys. So I'm going to leave it at that for this video. There will be 2 videos this week. So this one's going to be released, let me see here, Wednesday. So tomorrow. And it's going to, this for the reason this one's a little bit shorter for that. But I will have another one on Sunday. A new video that we will continue working on these tickets. Thank you so much for watching. I want to say special thank you to people who became members of the channel. Thank you so much. It's appreciated. And lastly, I want to talk about, I guess, a comment that I saw. It looked like somebody was stressed out working help desk, and it looks like they were struggling, and they left a comment, and it kind of seemed like cry for help in a sense where they were stressed out. And this can happen in a help desk, in any call center type of environment where you deal with a lot of people, and it can be stressful for sure, and not all the time. It just depends which company you work for. Some help desks are very laid back, some of them are super busy, and it can be tiring, exhausting, and stressful sometimes. But the help desk is a great place to start your IT career, and it's okay. And it's okay to get into the positions where you do get stressed out. It's not okay to get stressed out, but you got to put yourself into those positions to at least kind of have an idea of what to expect when it comes to working help desk. And not just that, even if you stop, even when you stop working help desk, and this goes for any job, when there is no job where somebody hasn't complained about anything, ask your friend that's currently working. Ask your mom, your dad, your cousins, your family, or anybody you know. Ask them how their day was at work, and there's a high chance that they will complain about something, because life in general is just stressful. I guess my point is, just hang in there. Hang in there. It's not, if it's something that's not your fault, and I'm sure most people don't think it's their fault, then don't beat yourself up over it, because it's a passing thing. Everything's passing, even including life. So everything's just going into passing, and don't let it bother you too much, and just, do your best, and do what you can to resolve any issues that you may come across. If you can't resolve them, it's okay to ask somebody else for help and advice, especially if you're about to make a big mistake by, cursing the customer out or something, yelling at them. That's the last thing you want to do, even though you feel like sometimes you might want to do that. Just ask somebody else for help and their advice, and if they're a good friend, good manager, good supervisor, they will tell you what you need to do before you get yourself in trouble. But it's to be expected that sometimes you will come across a stressful issue, and it's normal. Just, you got to learn how to deal with it in a way that benefits you the most, and that way it doesn't affect you or your health, your mental or physical health. You know what I mean? So I don't know why I kind of left it on that, but I just kind of want to touch on that because it does happen. I get stressed out sometimes too, so I totally understand that. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful day, and wish you best to you and your family. Bye bye.